The next problem is basically having really slow chord changes. And this is caused by just not knowing the chords well enough. As you get more and more familiar with the chords, generally this beginner problem will go away as you get that familiarity and the muscle memory of it. But basically, you can use the push-up technique to memorize chords. So for example, if my C to G chord goes like this, and there's a big gap between them, if your tongue's poking out, that means you're concentrating too hard. But that's what a lot of our chords are like at the beginning. There's a big gap between them. So we're going to use a couple of techniques. The first one is finger push-up. So I get my fingers in the right spot and I do basically like a push-up. I squeeze, I relax. I squeeze, I relax. I squeeze and I relax. And I'm not picking my hand off the strings. I'm not taking my fingers up. I'm just squeezing, relaxing. And this is going to build the muscle memory of that particular shape. I want to do that 10 times on the C chord. Then I'm going to do it 10 times on the G chord. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release. So I do that 10 times on each chord. Now I go back and I do strum mute lift, which is basically finger push up but with a lift. So I strum the C chord, I mute, I lift back down. Strum, mute, lift, back down. Strum, mute, lift, back down. And again, what I want to do is make sure my fingers are in the right spot and I'm practicing to build up the muscle memory and the memorization. The second step to that was, of course, then to go to the G chord and do the exact same thing. And this is arbitrary chords. You can do this on any combination of two chords. So now that I've done finger push-ups and that I've done the strum mute lift technique, I'm going to do what I call moonwalks. And these are slow motion chord practicing where I get rid of the strumming hand again and I just focus on changing from one chord to the other, super slow, as if I was in a zero gravity environment like the moon. So if I was doing a C chord level 1 to a G chord level 1, I just want to practice transferring my fingers slowly from one to the other. If I'm doing 2 or more fingers, I need to make sure that all of my fingers are arriving at the same time. I don't want to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, because if you practice that way, you're going to play that way. You're always going to have that staggering of fingers. Practice getting all your fingers to move ultra slow and arrive together. So do that for 10, 20, 25 reps with all the chords you need to practice it. And then of course, we're going to move on to stage number 4, which is rapid fire changes. So with rapid fire changes, what you basically do is you do 4 strums, then you switch to the new chord, and even if your finger's not ready, you keep on strumming. So now we're giving ourselves a set amount of time to make the change, and if we miss it, we just keep going. And this is going to force our brain and our fingers to do those quick changes. So we go like this. C, 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 change. Now look at my fingers. See how they're not arriving in time? But I'm just going to keep on strumming, even if it sounds terrible, it doesn't work, I'm just going to keep on going. And force yourself, no matter how bad it sounds or if you land on the wrong fingers by accident, just adjust as you go. And if you do that for a minute straight or 10 repetitions, it's going to make your brain get used to thinking under pressure and your fingers catching up. So that's basically the best way of memorizing or troubleshooting chords and facilitating great changes. So use that exercise with all of the different chord changes and progressions from lesson number 8 or songs that you're working on. But the process again was 1, finger push-ups, 2, strum mute lift, 3, moonwalks, and 4, doing that rapid fire change there.